Next, we're going to have Representative Kat Cammack. Kat is the co-chair of the Free Speech Caucus. So, Kat, take it away.
Well, thank you to my good friend from North Carolina and to my good friend, Representative Elise Stefanik. Thank you both for being here this morning. As the youngest Republican woman in Congress today, this issue is pretty close to my heart. It's not too long ago that I found myself an undergrad on a college campus on day one of Latin American politics, being told that every white Republican male was the source of world conflict. I knew on day one that was going to be a really, really hard class for me. And it actually ended up over the course of a semester turning into quite a battle that I didn't realize at the time would be formative for my future career, but ended up going so far as the professor trying to get me kicked out of school for presenting a conservative viewpoint and refusing to write my papers with a liberal slant. So that was the start of my experience on college campus, basically being told that if I do not adhere to a liberal ideology that I would fail. And that, of course, has now turned into a position where I now serve as the co-chair for the Campus Free Speech Caucus along with Representative Jim Jordan. And we're really proud to partner with YAF because we have seen this same situation of students across America being bullied, hazed, harassed, being told that they must write their papers in a certain way if they want to get a passing grade, being subjugated to a variety of different attacks on their academic career, themselves personally, student groups. And as Representative Murphy hit on, we have seen that there are several university professors that have opted to step back and maybe keep their head down a little bit, maybe not sponsoring student groups on campus for fear of retaliation amongst their colleagues, which of course feeds into this culture of fear and a one-sided narrative, which Representative Murphy, you hit right on it. College campuses, universities should be a place where students are able to express themselves without fear and should be a place where kids learn how to think, not what to think. And I think that this conversation is happening at an extraordinarily important moment in time for our national discourse. In addition to the work that we're doing on the Campus Free Speech Caucus, I also sit as the chair for the subcommittee on Next Generation Freedoms Task Force. And protecting free speech on our college campuses couldn't be more important. I believe that regardless if a student is conservative or find themselves on the more liberal side of the spectrum, free speech must be protected at all costs. And I have expressed this to my own home university. I represent the University of Florida. And of course, I'm proud that we have a green fire rating, but that's not the case necessarily across the country, with several higher institutions being in the red. So it is our goal to really identify those universities and work to improve their policies on campus so that students feel comfortable and safe expressing their viewpoints. And I'm really excited for today's conversation. I can't tell you how important this is, not just for my generation as a millennial, but for those that come behind. The Gen Zs that I am seeing and mentoring and getting to know, they are really becoming scared as they enter the workforce, as they go on with their careers. They're taking the same learned habits of keeping their head down, remaining silent, choosing not to voice an opinion for fear of retaliation because they experienced they had a bad experience in college, and so they continue that same mindset throughout their careers. And that's very, very dangerous when we are at a point in time when free speech, our First Amendment rights, must be protected at all costs. So thank you to all of our participants and panelists here today. Thank you to everybody watching, and thank you to my distinguished colleagues for hosting today.
Great. Thank you very much, Kat.